What's up, guys? War here. Welcome back to the channel. So today, Path of Isles released this last night when I was sleeping, and 23 hours ago, so I wasn't really sleeping. I was still working, but I got home, looked at everything, and then I had to go find the interview that Jonathan did. Shout out to Bill, was that Billy? For the interview and a lot of information that is coming to Path of Exile 2 now that we're a good way into the Path of Exile 1 League. So I'm going to go over everything. I do want to give a big shout out to Pawnoff for doing some summarized changes, and I kind of just smoothed this out just a little bit to hit the bullet points. But this interview is great. I'm going to link this down in the description below. Make sure to go watch it. It's fantastic. A lot of great information. If you want to watch it in full detail with the questions, it's great information to look at. But I'm going to kind of go ahead and go over everything that they kind of went over in the early access stuff that's coming, just so you can get super excited, because we got about 6 weeks or so until the league drops at August 29th. So I'm super pumped for PoE 2 because I'm loving playing PoE 1, and it's so great to just kind of have this cycle of games with PoE 1 and PoE 2 with how they're doing their content. So let's go ahead and get into this. Now that the Path of 1 League had its league, it's time to talk about the plans for the Path of Exile 2 update. There's been a lot of new players, so we thought it would be a good idea to explain how their updates officially work. So major updates for Path of Exile 2 are released every 4 months. Since O2 was released in April, that means the next one's in August, and then the one after that is December, right at the end of the year, which I'm super pumped about. Okay, so our big updates, including the one that's coming in August, introduces a brand new league. Leagues are fresh economy for you to experience brand new content, but also have exclusive content that is only available in the league. For those who kind of misunderstand what this means, it's different from Dawn of the Hunt. They released Dawn of the Hunt and allowed players to play it in normal and or play Dawn of the Hunt exclusively. So you could play the normal league, or basically like normal league as opposed to Dawn of the Hunt league. This is the only league, to my knowledge, that they've done this, and going forward, it's going to be when the new league is released, all the brand new stuff is only played in that. So if you want to stay in your normal league or like legacy league and have keep all your stuff, you can do that, but you will miss out on all the brand new content that's coming to the game. I love that they do this, and I wish that more RPGs would do this, where it's exclusive for the league, and that's it. People who play normal legacy or whatever it is don't get access to the new content. Now, once the league is done, if they do want to put something into the legacy league, then sure, you can experience it, but it's going to be 4 months after the fact. So more RPGs or ARPGs need to do this. So I'm so happy that this is here. We have to stop catering to the casuals that don't want to play a brand new league because they have to restart over. Too bad. You want to play it, you need to experience the new stuff, start a new game, a fresh economy, or just wait 4 months. The leagues usually contain a new combat mechanic, new rewards, and new crafting options and new bosses. Super excited for this. During the league, the new content will usually appear in every area, giving you a new experience while you play through the game. After the league ends, then we have a chance to work it out. They can integrate it from a previous league. So if they'd like a mechanic, they can bring it back a different way, which is great. After a league is finished, all your characters and items transfer to standard leagues, where you'll be able to continue play them, and most players usually want to play into the next league. Of course, content updates can always contain a lot of new stuff for the base game as well. As Path of Exile 2 is still in early access, we got a lot of content that they haven't finished yet, but much more coming. 0.3 will be officially released on August 29th PDT. So, super happy about this. This is great news for Path of Exile 1 and 2 players, including myself. Now, this video is great. Go check it out, but let's go ahead and summarize everything that's in that video so you guys kind of get a gist of what's coming to Path of Exile 2 on August 29th. So, game balances and skills. There's large buffs to underused and non-viable skills across all classes. The big reason that they're doing this is because they want to maintain a challenging environment without punishing the wrong skill choices. They want a wider build variety. So what this means is, instead of like in Dawn of the Hunt, where basically the best build and the only build really to play is Lightning Spear, which there is other builds to play, but like that one is just so much higher than the other ones. We want to bring up other builds that are just so far down below. To put it into like a tier list, if Lightning Spear is an S tier build and I want to play Firewall from my Sorcerer, Firewall is basically non-existent. So that leads into the next part where they're going to ensure that every skill can scale to end game viability. Meaning if I wanted to play a firewall build, let's say, then I can be able to do that in the end game and have it be able to perform as opposed to the build being non-existent. So this is good. We're going to have to see how this works out going forward. So they got weapon speeds, guys. Maces are the slowest, which you use on your warriors. Spears are the fastest on like your Jamazons. Then you got axes and sword, which are just medium fast. They are going to be giving us less jewel sockets in the passive tree. This is a good thing. That way you can use the passive tree to build out your character better as opposed to using a bunch of jewel sockets. You'll still be able to use some, but you're just going to have less. The next thing is campaign and progression. I know a lot of people hate doing a double campaign playthrough, which, you know, normal and cruel is the same campaign, just a little bit harder and cruel, but they are removing this sooner than you think, which is great. This change aims to streamline the initial leveling experience, reducing the repetitive nature of a playthrough the same campaign multiple times, and allowing players to reach the end game content faster. So I don't know if this necessarily means that they're going to be replacing it on August 29th, but if it does happen, that would be sweet. Otherwise, it's going to be streamlined much faster so we can get to the end game so we're not stuck in a double campaign over and over again. The campaign pacing is to be sped up. They are going to be introducing crafting tutorials for weapon mods, accelerating the campaign flow while integrating early tutorials, which will make the new player experience smoother. Now, I can tell you, if you are a new player, this is just super great information because it was already way easier to get into, like the barrier of entry was way better in Path of Exile 2 than it was in 1. So now that they're doing this, it's going to help streamline them. It's just a great thing. I can't wait to see what that looks like. And then level 95 plus curve will be E, so it's just a tad bit easier to get to 100 for your dedicated grinders. Endgame and Atlas, there's a lot of like information here, but the TLDR for this is need more random encounters within maps. The current Atlas is too predictable. And then ongoing additions of pinnacle content to preserve the difficulty ramp. So they're going to give us more content within the map and more bosses, all of these really good things to just kind of push yourself. And then there's going to be more random encounters because it's like you either just go do a normal map or you know you're doing Breach and there's no other pieces of content. So I hope that this change is received really well. Itemizing and crafting. Recent drop rate changes aim to satisfy dedicated grinders. These adjustments ensure that players who invest significant time into the game are adequately rewarded with valuable drops, acknowledging and catering to the grinding playstyle. Now, I'm going to leave this highlighted because this is a very important statement from Jonathan during the interview. The fact that he is dedicated and GGG is dedicated to players who grind the game out and catering to them is amazing. I really I have a huge disdain to cater to the casual Andy that gets to play for 1 hour a day and you just bring everything down and just make it non-existent where I can complete the content in 1 day. So for having a dedicated catering to the grinding playstyle of your game because the player base has grown significantly, I just really respect that this is the focus going forward, because casual Andy players and players that can still play the game, you know, a few hours a week or whatever, are still going to be able to reach all of their goals within that 4-month frame of the league. So for players who grind like myself, like this is just great to hear. Now I know, you know, the other side is if you're casual Andy, you play one hour, you know, every 3 weeks because you got, you know, 20,000 kids and you got 20 jobs and you got 5 wives and like you got so much going on that you can barely play, then yeah, that sucks. But, you know, for me, I love hearing this. More Chase Uniques plan, great information. Continuous expansion of all the crafting systems that we're going to get, which is great. And then more stash tabs with league-specific tabs by full release, which is similar to what we have in PoE 1. Trading and economy. There's been a lot of swirl in the community about having a auction house, but this breaks it down. The current philosophy is to limit trade speed to curb inflation, gold-gated currency market. So I don't know if this necessarily means that we're going to have a full gold-gated auction house, but this is going to help with the inflation of some items that just skyrocket and makes it really difficult to get. For example, in basically season 1 of PoE 2, like an Astromantis was just impossible for the mercenary stat stacker. It was just so hard to get. And even if you couldn't find it, it was impossible to purchase. It was just way too expensive. So this should help that. Working on a broader gold-based trade system for non-currency items before full launch. Great. Inflation monitor, gold remains bound, items tradable. So this is great. Having the gold base, it's similar to what we have in PoE 1 to a degree. But we'll have to see what the trade is going to be on some of these items to trade gold with, which is going to be awesome. We'll just have to see how it works out. And then lead design and content cadence. Early access, mostly reimagined versions of existing mechanics. So examples here is like getting the Wisp replaced by Tormented Spirits. So this is great. I mean, we already know there's so many mechanics in PoE 1, and a lot of them are going to be coming over to PoE 2. So for players who have played PoE 1 and have experienced like Legion, for example, or Tormented Spirits, those being brought into PoE 2 are a good thing. So for PoE 2 players who are brand new to experience this stuff for the first time, it's going to feel very fresh and new. I can see the side where like, well, we've already done this. It's just going to be slightly different in PoE 2, but it's still good. It still needs to be in the game. So we'll have to see what kind of brand new things that come after we get some of this existing mechanics. Because for me, like Legion, Blight is great. Like there's so many good things. Like, you know, Harbingers I'm playing a lot right now in PoE 1. So having some of these mechanics are just great. And then full release, we'll have brand new leagues every cycle, 0 repeats. And then fixed release dates, as you guys know, every 3-4 months we'll get PoE 1 and then PoE 2 and vice versa. So we're allowed to like go through, fully experience the new content, and then we can switch to the other game and then keep going back and forth. So a lot of great information here, guys. Super excited for PoE 2 on August 29th. So make sure to watch this video if you guys haven't already. Again, big shout out to Pawnoff for kind of the summary and just allowing me to like kind of brief it a little bit better. Maybe not better, but like just TLDR just a little bit. And the early access announcements. So yeah, guys, like the video, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of all the new stuff that's coming. Let me know what you guys think if you're big PoE 2 players. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Be safe, have fun as always. Stay gaming. See you guys later. Peace.